Good morning again. Well, you've been sitting for about a half an hour or longer, so hopefully we are getting near the end of our time in here, and we'll soon dismiss to get you to enjoy the rest of your day, and that is to spend some time with your program coordinators as well. But as Ms. Olson indicated, I am Dr. Sandra Davis, Vice President of Student Services here on this campus. Some of you I've seen in student services already, and we are delighted to have you here. We congratulate you on the choice that you've made to attend OC Tech. And think of today as the beginning of your educational journey, one that will provide you with educational attainment and unimaginable experiences. And Student Services is here to help you with your educational journey. We provide a variety of different services outside of the classroom that will help support what you're doing inside of the classroom. So as you see on the slide, and many of you have already utilized some of these services from some of these offices and perhaps didn't even know what the office was really called, but you've been in and out of student services already. So when you think of student services, think about those services that are needed to enhance your educational experience. And we encourage you to utilize our services. That's what we're here for. We're here to help make sure that you not only graduate on time, but that you are successful while you're here. So those offices outside of the classroom would include the registrar's office. And from time to time, there may be a change that's needed with your schedule. You may need to add a class or drop a class, and it's going to be the registrar's office that's helping with that. Even something as simple as changing an address or modifying a telephone number, because we need your help to help. We need you to help us to stay in touch with you. So we want to make sure that we have updated mailing addresses, the most recent of telephone numbers. I know many of you like text messages, but how can we text you if we don't even have the current number on file? You know, if you've moved or changed your home numbers, how can we get an important message to you? We might have something here that you really need and can't even mail a letter because it's coming back, or we call and we can't get an answer, and there's not an answering machine, or we get a message that is disconnected. Help us help stay in touch with you, okay? So it's the registrar's office that helps with those things. Financial aid. Some people gotta have it. Some people really need it. Money, money, money. And that's what the financial aid office is doing, here to support the financial component, to lighten the burden so that you're not having to spend as much of your money to cover the cost of attending OC Tech. New student advising, I'm sure that all of you, if you've already registered, you have been in touch, talked with, met with a new student advisor. They were the ones that helped to get your schedule settled and situated for the spring semester, talked a little bit about future plans beyond the spring semester as well. Career Services is here to help you find part-time jobs if needed, and even full-time employment once you graduate. Counseling Services is also in the Division of Student Services. You know, life happens. But in addition to that, we'll share with you another resource that we have available to students in an upcoming slide as well. Disability Services, if any of you have from high school were on some type of an accommodations plan, or you have anxiety issues and feel that you need additional test time, please make sure that you reach out to our disabilities coordinator so that we can help determine what resources are actually needed. Student IDs are also issued within the Division of Student Services. That is your personalized photographed OC Tech ID. We encourage you to, if you have not gotten one issued already, please plan to come by Student Services today while you're on campus. We only ask that you have two things. One, that you already be registered, and secondly, that you have a photo ID. We need to be able to verify that you are who you are. So any type of government issued ID, driver's license ID, military ID, any of those things would help us verify who you are. And we can use that and your schedule to issue you your very own OC Tech ID. You want to do that before you go to the bookstore, especially if you're planning to use some of your financial aid to charge your books in the bookstore. You will need your OC Tech student ID in order to do that. So I'll save you a few minutes of time if you come to student services first and then go over to the bookstore. Because if you go to bookstore first, they will tell you, go back to student services and then back. Save yourself a couple steps. And it's good, we all need to get the steps in, but we want to save you a little bit of steps today and some frustration. So plan to come by student services before you go to the bookstore. And then also the testing center. Some of you may have taken a placement test in advance of getting accepted to the college. And utilize our testing center services. We do have testing center services that even after you are a student that you might have to utilize, particularly if there's a makeup exam that an instructor has scheduled for you, or an exam that they tell you you need to go to the testing center for, then it's going to be the testing center that will help you with that. We've also provided on this slide how you can reach us beyond today. Really simple, via email, askme@octech.edu. And you can literally ask us about anything. If we don't know the answer, we'll get an answer for you. Our telephone number, and then just a reminder that we're located on the first floor of Building S, and we are here to help. So we mentioned that one of the areas in student services is financial aid. Financial aid awards a variety of different scholarships, grants, work study, and student loans. We don't like to talk a lot about student loans. You know why? Because that's money that you have to pay back. We have so many grants and scholarships that you don't have to pay back that we would prefer that our students not borrow through the student loan program. But should you have to, do know that we offer that program as well. Veterans benefits as well as tuition waivers. So right now we're in the 22-23 academic year. And that would have required you to complete the 22-23 FAFSA. Now we realize that it's January, but you can also go ahead and complete right now the 23-24 FAFSA, because we know that your plans are to be with us again in August. So get a head start and remember to complete the 23-24 FAFSA as well, because that starts in August of this year. The FAFSA that you currently have on file with us, 22-23, takes care of fall 22, spring 23, and summer 23. But then we need you to start making plans now for August, which is fall of 23, and that will carry you through summer of 24. Just a reminder, because sometimes we forget when there's so much information provided to us all at one time. Your credit hours really do matter when it comes to financial aid. If you're looking to maximize your eligibility, then we encourage you to enroll full-time. And yes, there's still time to make a schedule adjustment if you need to. Full-time is 12 credit hours or more. 3/4 time generally indicates that you will get about 75% of what you're eligible for. That's 9 to 11 credit hours. Half-time is 6 to 8 hours. That means you're gonna get half of what you're eligible for. And then less than half-time is 1 to 5 credit hours. And that's generally about 25% of what you're eligible for. So we encourage you to, as you're making adjustments with your schedules, whether you're adding classes or dropping a class, always reach out to financial aid so that you know ahead of time what that impact will mean for you in terms of the money that they've awarded to you. We also encourage you, while you're here, please go by the cafe area today. There are a number of tables set up over there, and there is where you can find the OC Tech student planner and handbook. Now, why is this so important? Well, not only will it allow those of us who still like to write down what we need to do, you know, we love apps, but some of us still have to write down little notes. Okay, we give you lots of space in our planner to do that. In addition to it being used as a planner, then the forward pages of this provides you with your rights and responsibilities as a student. And it's some important information. It's not enough time for us to go through all of these pages this morning, but we want you to pick up this college planner and handbook so that you can become familiar with your rights and responsibilities as a student. We are committed to providing a campus that is free of all forms of discrimination, harassment, and sexual misconduct. We encourage you as students, if there are concerns that you have, if there are complaints that you have, if something just doesn't sit right with you, let us know. Let us at least have an opportunity to review your concern a little further. And we've provided on the bottom of this, as well as in the handbook, contact information from my office. Now, my email address is real easy to remember. And yes, we do know how to spell Davis, but you have to add a couple of more S's to the end of that. So it's not just Davis, it's Davis SS. So it's 3 S's it's DAVI and 3 S's. Oftentimes folks, well, I sent you an email, never got it. And then we ask, could you verify where you sent it? Davis S, no, not quite. I need 3 S's at the end of it. DAVI SSS at octech.edu. But we also encourage you again to stop by Building S, and there is where you can find us. We are still living with COVID. And the world as we knew it prior to March 2020 probably won't be the same again. We, over the last 2.5, almost 3 years now, we've been dealing with, as a society, COVID. We encourage folks to get vaccinated. We encourage the use of masks. It's not required. It is optional. Now, there are going to be some times, particularly after an individual has been diagnosed, that we might mandate that you've got to wear it for X number of days. But it is a personal decision at this point as to whether or not you utilize a mask or not. The takeaway from this, however, is that as a student, if you are symptomatic, if you test positive, or if you've been in contact with someone who has tested positive, we need you to contact our office and let us help you to determine whether or not you need to report to campus. So we do ask you to reach out to us by telephone or by email if you've tested positive. We know that you will do your very best work while you're here, and that all of the work submitted will be your work. But sometimes we are overly friendly and we want to share because we've been taught to share things a lot. Make sure that your work is representative of your work. Academic misconduct includes such things as plagiarism. We want to give credit where credit is due. If you're citing someone else's work, please make sure you're giving credit to the appropriate author. Copying is also another one of those academic misconduct issues, and those are academic misconduct is a violation of our student code of conduct. And we're sharing this with you today because we know that we won't have that problem with any of you that are here today. So who wants to be a trillionaire? What exactly is a trillionaire? Our TRIO support services is here on campus to offer a variety of different services, from tutoring, workshops, even some grant and aid assistance. Again, another arm of support services that are available to you. We encourage you to stop by the table today while you're in the cafe area to get additional information about our TRIO support services. Earlier, I mentioned that we do have counseling in student services. And I shared with you that we had additional information that we would share when we got a little further in the presentation. And that is by way of our student assistance program. You know, so often, as I said, life happens, but make sure you take time for yourself. This is a totally free service that we're providing to you as a student, where you can call this 1-800 number 24 hours a day and get much needed assistance and guidance. We don't know who's calling, but we want you to call. We want you to utilize this service because it is available to you. It's free, it's confidential, and it can help you with school-related items, work-related items, personal items, whatever it is. take advantage of this service. There's also an announcement in D2L about this, so that even if you don't remember it today, it'll be available to you a little later in D2L, and you can check that as well. OC Tech partners with the Salvation Army, and we have a food pantry there specifically for OC Tech students. All you have to do is to show your OC Tech student ID. So there's another way for you to gain some valuable benefits by way of your OC Tech student ID. So I am sure that we have shared a lot of information with you today. Do know that some of what we've shared will also be available in D2L for you to refer to later. We are available on campus, and in the interest of time, rather than to pause for questions, we'll ask that you stop by this some of the tables in the cafe area to get your questions answered a little later this morning. Thank you so much, and we're expecting great things from you this semester.
Okay, so I'm just going to go over a little bit about the OC Tech Library. We want you all to make sure that you stop by and take advantage. The library is a resource that is available for you on and off campus, but they do have books, DVDs, magazines, computers. The big thing, a lot of people like to come up if you're on campus and you want to hop on a computer, you can go to the library. You can also print in the library. It costs 10 cents per page to print in the library, so you do have to have money on your account. The way to do that is through the bookstore. So if you go down to the bookstore, you can put it on your student ID number. And then when you print, you put in your number, and it's 10 cents per page, whether it's black and white or color. They have databases and subject guides that are available to you. So when you get that first paper or research, make sure you take advantage. They have them broken down by subject and classes. The location is the second floor of Building B, and the hours are 8 to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and on Friday from 8 until 1:30. So definitely make sure that you go up there. If you have any questions, there's always people available that can help you with just to answer basic questions if you're in D2L and Brightspace or computer questions, okay? I'm over the Student Success Center. I'm the director, and I'm actually in the back of the library. So if you come to the library, make sure you stop by. We want you to get to know the tutors, me, if you have questions. We kind of already mentioned that there is free tutoring here at OC Tech. So you can go through the website to actually make appointments, or you can just stop by. Appointments take preference. We have tutors in the library, and there's also tutors located in the math lab. And so as you're taking math classes, they'll help with any math. But if you go to the math lab, anytime that it's open, there's a tutor available and the instructors are there. So they kind of do it on a walk-in basis, but you can make an appointment. We do have in the library and back there areas that you can study. We have a biology study room that those of you that are taking biology and you want to use models, we have resources, handouts, different things that you can use. So you can use that without the tutor. We can pull them out. Just know that that is a tool, and those are resources that are available for you. You might not want subject-specific tutoring. You might just want to talk to somebody about time management or how to study. You can meet with any tutor or me just to go over what are some best practices, what are some different things you might want to try. If you're struggling in a class, you might just want to sit down and kind of go over what are some different techniques that you could use. So definitely make sure, it doesn't just have to be about class stuff. If you just want to come in and make an appointment for anything, it's called a success meeting. We also have online resources. So if you go to the website, we have links that are there to also help you. We also have a service called BrainFuse, and BrainFuse offers online tutors. They are not OC Tech tutors, but they are also available if you're not able to come when we have tutors available on campus.